Today I have yet another car for you, and it's a special one, although you might already know because of the title. This one is an Infiniti QX55 2022. So, you're about to buy one and you don't know what to look for when you walk around the car, and you would like some steps and tips. Here I'll give you everything you need to know, everything you need to look for, in case, since this car is a new car, directly out from Infiniti dealership. So usually you can trust them, especially if the car is new. But sometimes you will find good deals for new or almost new cars at some unofficially authorized dealers. So here I'll show you some steps and tips that you can follow in order to know what kind of car you have in front of you. Is it an accident car? Is it a good car? And let's start. First thing I suggest to do on the list is the exterior condition. It's fairly simple. Under a bright light, make sure the car is clean and walk around. Look for any unusual paint job. Look for any unusual gap between the fender, the doors, the bumpers. Does everything look right? In this case, it's an amazing paint job. I can tell that this car is really brand new. Everything is perfect. Next, look at the tires. Make sure there's enough tread. Look at the mags. Is there any damage all around? Do that for all 4 tires. In this case, they look brand new, which they are. Also, look at the windshield. Make sure it's not cracked anywhere. Take a quick look at the sunroof. Well closed, well aligned. Everything looks great. I'll just go ahead and say that the exterior condition has been checked. Next is the engine condition. For that test, start the car and listen. Exhaust sounds good. There are no leaks. The fume coming out from the tip of the exhaust looks like the normal color, especially in winter. That's how it's supposed to look. Next, open the hood. Listen carefully for the engine. This case sounds amazing. There are no smokes coming out of anywhere. It doesn't seem like it's leaking anything on the floor. So that's good. And now, while the hood is open, take a careful look for the bolts and the plastic clips. Make sure they are here and they all look like they belong here. Nothing is rusted, no surface rust anywhere. Everything seems aligned. You still have the yellow marking on the bolts. I don't know what they're used for, but I'm sure they're from the factory. That's very good. I'm going to go ahead and say that the engine has been checked. Next is the interior condition. For this one, start with the doors, with the panels. Make sure nothing is torn, nothing is stained. Everything looks good. Next, the seat. Look at the fabric, look at the firmness. You can also try to move them around. Everything works. All the components. Look at the steering wheel. And especially look at the seat belts. Are they clean? Sorry, yeah. Are they clean? Are they factory clean? Do they work? When a car goes into an accident, the seat belts lock. Sometimes, especially on new cars like this, you can't find them. So they'll leave them, they'll try and fix them, they'll get dirty. But in this case, they look fine, they work. So that's good. It's a good sign. For me, it's a good sign. The seat belts is a good indicator that the car has been into an accident. Sometimes it will be dirty, like it's not supposed to be on a very new and clean car. Open the windows, make sure they all work. Try the windshield wipers. Rear one too. Works. That's good. This car is equipped with a rear view camera, so put it in reverse. It works. That's perfect. Make sure you test the heating system. Also the air conditioning, but the only problem with that is that in winter, even if you put the AC on, it might not work because the sensors will already sense that everything is cold, so there's no need to turn on the compressor. For that, I would, if you're not buying the car from an officially authorized dealer, Infiniti dealer, I would suggest you take it to a mechanic just to test if the AC does work. And also, of course, if there's any major damage that he can look up under the car. So anyway, test the radio as well, make sure that it works. In this case, it's supposed to. I'm going to go ahead and say that the interior has been checked. Next is a test drive. For this test, make sure you have enough time to drive the car carefully. Don't be afraid to ask for time. Take the car into city, test the brakes, take the car on the highway, test the stability, and especially make sure that you have enough time to drive the car until it reached the operating temperature, which in this case it hasn't yet. So if the salesman insists on coming with you on the ride, make sure he remains as much as possible quiet, so you can focus on any small sound. Turn off the radio as well. You don't want that hiding any sounds that the car could be making. In this case, the car drives amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that the test drive has been done. Next is the mileage. So you have you walked around the car, you tested the car, you drove the car. You should have a fair estimation of the mileage. So look at it. In this case, 53 kilometers. Yeah, this car is actually brand new. Nobody has driven it yet. And by the looks of everything, I'm 100% sure this car is new. I am confident about that. So I will be going ahead and check the mileage box. Next is the VIN. If you're not buying this car from an authorized official Infiniti dealer, I strongly recommend that you verify the VIN. You don't want to end up buying a stolen and cloned car. The police will get the car back eventually and won't help you get your money back. So first, locate the VIN plate on the driver's side. Make sure that it can't be removed by hand. It's not supposed to be easy at all. If it feels like a sticker, if it's very easy to remove and it almost looks like a sticker, then you most probably are dealing with a cloned car. In this case, it's original. So take the VIN, compare it with the one under the window, and make sure that it doesn't look tampered with. This one looks good. Now for this car, there's a third location for the VIN, which is behind this plate, which is a bit hard to remove. Now I know when you're with the seller, it's kind of awkward to kind of start working around under the hood and removing parts and panels. So at least ask him first if he can do it, if he can show you that location, so you can make sure that the VIN is correct, and if it's the same as the one on the door. Now, for some reasons, personal reason, he may say no, don't touch it. But if you feel like he really doesn't want you to look at it, go with your feelings. Sometimes if they don't want to, it's for a reason. It could be because if you figure out that the VIN is not the same as the other ones, that the car is stolen. So you have to go with your feelings and see if the guy or the woman or the seller looks honest. So I was able to remove it. It's kind of hard. You have to pry. See, it even says VIN. So you have to pry on these from the bottom, which is not accessible easily with normal size hands. So it's a bit complicated. But the VIN, I can't show you with the phone, but it's kind of like upward over here. So that's it. Make sure it's the same VIN as the one on the door. I'm going to go ahead and say that the VIN has been checked. Next is the cluster lights. For this test, turn the car off, then turn it back on accessory mode. If you have a push start, like in this case, you only push one, but you don't start the engine. You only want to look at the lights that comes on while you're on accessory. So you can see here you have your the ABS, which was here. I think this is power steering, and you have kind of other sensors here, collision sensors. If some lights go off, then do it again. Put it on accessory mode. Look for the check engine. Is it there? I see the traction control, the oil lights. Now, I believe this car doesn't come with a check engine light. It does have kind of. I've been able to find the owner manual online. I looked around. I couldn't find the check engine, so I believe this car does not come with a check engine light. It comes with warning lights. It comes with. There is even over here an electric transmission warning light. So that's new, and at the same time, is it a good thing? You can't tamper with the check engine light. I think there is some warnings that will come on over here anyway that you cannot turn off, because the problem is usually, say you have this light on over here, and you want to sell the car. What you're gonna do is remove the cluster, break the LED light behind this light, and put back the cluster, so this light will not come on, and you will hide that there is a problem. So of course in this case everything is fine, everything is there. But what's good with the new display on newer cars is that if there's a problem, it will appear over here with a warning light. It's not something you can tamper with easily. So that's a good thing. I'm gonna go ahead and say that the cluster lights have been checked. In my case, I am pretty happy with the car I have behind me. If I was really interested in it, it was the car I'm looking for, and the price is fair, I would definitely buy it. Now, there is one more thing interesting. For example, I see here that there are 3 options you can get. Either the Lux here in Quebec, or the Essential Pro Assist, or the sensory one. Now the price ranges, like the base one goes from 54,000 all the way up to 63. So it's almost a $10,000 difference over here. How do you know which one you have in front of you? Is it a sensory one? Is it, because in the back of the car it definitely doesn't tell you anything. It only says QX55 and all-wheel drive. You don't know whether you have the sensory pack or the lux pack. How do we know? Well, you're definitely gonna have to do some homework before you go and look at the car. For example, here, first thing you can see that there is some buttons that are empty, which indicates that there is some options which we don't have here. And for example here, I know the sensory one comes with the heads-up display, which I clearly don't have, so I know it's not the sensory one. Also, the Essential Pro Assist comes with the blind spot intervention. Here, on the mirror, I don't have anything that actually tells me that I have something in my blind spot. So I do believe we have the Lux package, the base one, based on my research. So anyway, make sure you do your research in order to know really what you're buying. You don't want to pay more for options you don't have because you made a mistake. Alright, so that's it. Good luck with your purchase, and thank you for watching. I really hope this video was helpful. I will be making more cars as soon as I get the cars.